But to speak practically and as a citizen, unlike those who call themselves no government men, I ask for not at once no government, but at once a better government. Let every man make known what kind of government would command his respect, that will be one step towards obtaining it.
Thoreau is saying that he doesn't want no government, he wants a better government that all the people can respect.
But a government in which the majority rule in all cases cannot be based on justice, even as far as man understands it.
Thoreau's saying that the majority rule doesn't really express everybody because most politicians are rich and greedy and unfair.
The only obligation which I have a right to assume is to do at any time what I think is right.
Thoreau's saying that he doesn't feel obligated to do what the government does or wants him to do because he doesn't always feel like it's the right thing to do.
The soldier is applauded who refuses to serve in an unjust war by those who do not refuse to sustain the unjust government which makes the war, is applauded by those whose own act and authority he disregards and sets at naught, as if the state were penitent to that degree that it hired one to scourge it while it sinned, but not to that degree that it left off sinning for a moment.
A soldier that protests the war is a hero, and it makes more of a difference to protest the war than the government.
I know this well, that if 1,000, if 100, if 10 men whom I could name, if 10 honest men only, if one honest man in the state of Massachusetts ceasing to hold slaves were actually to withdraw from this co-partnership and be locked up in county jail therefore, it would be the abolition of slavery in America.
He means that if one honest good man refused to hold slaves and took punishment for it, he would make a difference because more people would follow suit and eventually slavery would be a defunct thing.
What is once well done is done forever.
If you do something really well once, you never have to worry about doing it again because its effects will last.
I could not help being struck with the foolishness of that institution which treated me as if I were mere flesh and blood and bones to be locked up.
He says that the government he doesn't like the government because they mistreat the people who they imprison.
When I came out of prison, for someone interfered and paid the tax, I did not perceive that great changes had taken place on the common, such as he observed who went in a youth and emerged a tottering and gray-headed man. And yet a change had, to my eyes, come over the scene. The town and state and country, greater than any that mere time could affect, I saw yet more distinctly the state in which I lived. I saw to what extent the people among whom I lived could be trusted as good neighbors and friends, that their friendship was for summer weather only, that they did not greatly purpose to do right, that they were a distinct race from me by their prejudices and superstitions, as the Chinamen and Mayalas are, that in their sacrifices to humanity they ran no risks, not even to their property, that after all they were not so noble, but they treated the thief as he had treated them, and hoped by certain outward observance and a few prayers, and by walking in a particular straight, though useless path from time to time to save their souls.
Thoreau is saying that the government, or he didn't see a change in himself when he was in prison so much as he saw a difference in the people around him and the people who represented them in government. And he said he can't trust people like he used to think that he could.
The authority of government, even such as I am willing to submit to, for I will cheerfully obey those who know and can do better than I, and in many things even those who neither know nor can do well, is still an impure one. To be strictly just, it must have the sanction and consent of the governed. It can have no pure right over my person and property but what I concede to it.
He's saying there that if a government were able to thoroughly represent the people and represent better than he could, the government wouldn't be a bad thing, but they can't do it, so it's not